America woke up to an earthquake, not the kind that crumbles buildings into dust, but the kind that shakes the very core of power itself. This wasn't an explosion. No scandal rocked the airwaves. No sirens blared through the streets. Instead, something far more dangerous detonated in the heart of the nation. A tweet. At precisely 6:43 a.m., Hillary Clinton, the matriarch of the Democratic establishment, unleashed her calculated strike. A single, sharp jab, crafted with precision, designed to send political shockwaves across the country. 16 years without a fatal airline crash, then MAGA took over, fired the FAA chief, dismantled aviation security, and threatened air traffic controllers with layoffs. Now, 2 fatal crashes. Hope your unvetted 22-year-olds can fix this mess fast. Boom. Just like that. In the time it took America to pour its first cup of coffee, Clinton's words ignited like wildfire. CNN's newsroom lit up. MSNBC scrambled to get their guests lined up. The New York Times had its headline locked and loaded within the hour. Trump's deregulation kills Americans in the sky. Twitter? Oh, Twitter was a battlefield. The outrage was instant, relentless, merciless. Liberals flooded the platform, foaming at the mouth. He ruined aviation just like he ruined democracy. Guess I'll be taking a train now. Thanks, MAGA. Hope you guys enjoy dying in the sky for a tax cut. By noon, the narrative had solidified like concrete. Trump was a murderer. The Democrats, already drunk on their own self-righteous fury, saw an opportunity and seized it. Inside the Democratic National Committee's war room, the air was thick with anticipation. Nancy Pelosi paced back and forth, her stilettos clicking against the cold marble floor. Across from her, Chuck Schumer adjusted his glasses, his expression unreadable, except for that quiet glint of satisfaction in his eyes. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was practically vibrating with energy. "Hillary just handed us a weapon," she said, leaning forward. "We need to use it." Schumer's voice was calm, deliberate. "We're making this stick. Get our media guys on it. Every anchor, every panelist, every columnist. We hammer this home. America needs to see what happens when fascists run the country." Pelosi's hand slammed down on the table. "This is it. We bury them." The strategy unfolded in real time. The message was simple. Push the panic. Make MAGA look reckless. Drown out the truth before it can even breathe. But just 2 miles away, inside the Republican headquarters, the response team had already gone into DEFCON 1. Inside the MAGA war room, the tension was thick. Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation, stared at the tweet. Once, twice, 3 times. His jaw clenched. His nostrils flared. He exhaled hard through his nose. "That line be asterisk, 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 asterisk," he muttered. His chief of staff, standing beside him, kept his voice steady. "Sir, the media is already running with it. They're calling this Trump's air crisis. We need to respond. Fast." Duffy's knuckles went white. He wasn't going to let this slide. Not today. She wants a war? He lifted his phone, his fingers moving fast. Fine. Let's give her one. Minutes later, his first missile was launched. "I get it, Hillary. You're lashing out because the truth is finally catching up to you. But I won't let you lie to the American people." 5 minutes later, another hit. The FAA chief resigned before Trump took office. Air traffic controllers? Always exempt from Trump's layoffs. Stop twisting the facts. And then the kill shot. Under your leadership, the Department of Transportation was nothing more than a slush fund for the Green News scam. Instead of modernizing our air traffic control systems, you wasted billions on environmental and social justice pet projects. Your team had its chance. You failed. We're moving on without you. And yes, we are bringing the 22-year-olds with us. Boom. Fox News picked it up within 10 minutes. The Federalist had an op-ed out in 20. By lunchtime, Breitbart's headline was everywhere across conservative America. Duffy nukes Hillary's lies, exposes the real aviation scandal. Back inside the DNC war room, the mood had shifted, darkened. Pelosi's perfectly manicured nails dug into the armrest of her chair. Her lips curled, her eyes burning with frustration. Son of A, B asterisk asterisk asterisk. Asterisk. Schumer, adjusting his glasses again, exhaled through his nose. They hit back faster than expected. AOC? She was scrolling through her phone. Her brows furrowed. Confusion flashed across her face. Wait, why the hell is USA fraud broad trending? Pelosi's stomach dropped. The narrative had slipped. And worse? The Republicans had done something Democrats never expected. They fought back. And they hit where it hurt. Because if Americans started asking questions about government contracts, if they connected the dots between government funding and the very media attacking Trump, if they realized that billions had been funneled into those same newsrooms pushing the Democratic agenda, it would be over. The volcano was rumbling. The political earthquake had begun. And across the country in Mar-a-Lago, Donald J. Trump leaned back in his chair, a slow grin stretching across his face. He exhaled, shaking his head. You dumb never learn, do you? 2 fingers up. Fact, not a single air traffic controller lost their job due to Trump's policies. Not one. That's another Clinton classic. Say it loud enough, blast it on CNN, have the media repeat it like a broken record, and just hope that Americans won't actually check the facts. 3 fingers up. And here's the real kicker. The one they don't want you to even whisper about. While they were too busy renaming cockpit terms to be more gender-inclusive, while they funneled millions into woke initiatives that had nothing, absolutely nothing, to do with keeping people safe in the sky, our air traffic control systems, the ones that protect your family, were left outdated, underfunded, ignored. Duffy leans forward, his voice steady, deliberate. That was their administration. That was their legacy. They had years to fix this. Years. And what did they do? Turn the Department of Transportation into a personal piggy bank for their pet projects. Billions funneled into nonsense that had nothing to do with actual aviation safety. A slight pause. Then a faint, knowing smile. And now they want to sit here and lecture us about aviation safety? His voice tightens, controlled, but razor sharp. No. Not this time. We're cleaning house. Duffy leans back, gaze locked onto the camera. You don't have to take my word for it. Just watch. The screen darkens. And across the country, millions of conservatives nodded in agreement. Because America knew about DOGE. They had heard the name before. For months, the Department of Government Efficiency had been a shadow looming over Washington. A relentless, surgical force, ripping apart the very foundations of corruption that had infested the government for decades. At first, the media mocked it, called it Trump's attack dog. They laughed. They sneered. But then, the indictments started rolling in. The government contracts started unraveling. High-level bureaucrats started resigning overnight. And suddenly, the narrative changed. DOGE wasn't a joke. DOGE was the reckoning. And now, it was time for America to finally understand why the aviation industry was actually in crisis. The Fox News studio was dead silent. Bright lights. Cameras rolling. But Sean Duffy? He wasn't nervous. Not a single hint of hesitation in his posture. Just a man who knew exactly what he was about to do. Let's stop pretending Hillary Clinton doesn't know what's going on. Across America, in homes, in bars, in break rooms, millions leaned in. For months, DOGE has been investigating the corruption rotting inside the Federal Aviation Administration. We've followed the money, tracked the backroom deals, uncovered the reckless neglect of safety regulations, all while your tax dollars were being funneled into pockets they should have never touched. He leans in, voice low, precise. And guess what we found? A hush fell over the studio. Duffy locked eyes with the camera. That right there is the real reason why the FAA chief was fired. Boom. The words hit like a bomb. Not because of some political purge. Not because MAGA was playing games with the aviation industry. But because the people running the agency were too busy cutting backroom deals, laundering money, and stuffing their own pockets to do their actual damn jobs. And you want to know the result of that? He pauses. Lets the weight of it sink in. 2 planes went down. A sharp inhale from the audience. Twitter? Exploded. Duffy pressed forward, ruthless. Hillary wants you to believe this was MAGA incompetence.
No.
This was corruption. At the highest levels of government. Finally catching up to itself. The FAA was a disaster. Bleeding money into bogus environmental consulting firms. Pouring cash into DI initiatives that had nothing to do with air safety. Handing contracts to foreign firms that had no business handling American aviation infrastructure. DOJ pulled the receipts. And when we did, they panicked. The house of cards collapsed. And now they want to blame US. The host, stunned, finally found his voice. So you're saying... Duffy cut him off. I'm saying the reason those planes crashed isn't because of Trump. It's because for years, the people in charge of air safety weren't doing their damn jobs. And DOJ was the first agency with the guts to actually hold them accountable. A beat of silence. Then the camera switches. Documents. Figures. Government contracts, signed under Biden's FAA leadership. Duffy turns back to the camera. His voice cold. So no, Hillary. This isn't about MAGA hiring unvetted 22-year-olds. This is about your administration cashing checks, while Americans flew on outdated systems that should have been modernized years ago. This is about a government that cared more about their own bank accounts than public safety. And you don't get to rewrite history to cover that up.
Boom.
The truth was out. And America would never look at this scandal the same way again. The White House press room was tense. No one wanted to show it. The same journalists, sitting in their same seats, holding their same notebooks, wearing their same smug expressions. Except today, something was different. They had lost control of the story. The Fox News broadcast had sent shockwaves through the media landscape. Reports were flooding in. Viewers were canceling subscriptions, flooding news station phone lines, demanding answers. This wasn't just a scandal. It was an earthquake. And its aftershocks were coming straight for them. At exactly 11 a.m., Caroline Leavitt stepped up to the podium. No scripted lines. No carefully rehearsed pleasantries. Just cold, undeniable truth. She paused. Let them simmer in the silence. Then she spoke. I assume everyone here saw the report last night? A few nervous nods.
Good.
Then let's stop pretending we don't know what this is really about.